Greetings, everyone, and welcome back to the Wise Up Challenge 24 and the Provisional Actions Challenge, where we are diving into a chapter of Proverbs each day. And for the next 31 days, we are on day 8. Day 8, and it has been full of teachings and instructions and wisdom. And I really feel the love of our Father, how much He loves us, that He's disciplined us. And so we started off with day 1, and we went through the entire week from the fear of the Lord all the way to the value of working higher and the importance of wisdom. And so we've learned a lot of the teachings, the instructions that protects us, and we are protected when we get wisdom, when we gain understanding, although it costs us everything. And so today I received a call, and that is our play. We are building up a playbook. So as we go through life, we have wisdom. We're gaining wisdom, and that as we gain wisdom, it allows us to create a playbook and strategies for each day. And today, our play is the call of wisdom, and this is a call out to everyone to get wisdom. Over the past 7 days, we have been told to listen, and the purpose is so that to get wisdom, we have to listen to wisdom, which is available to everyone. Wisdom is available to everyone. The Proverbs, the other literature, the Word of God is available to everyone. So we really have to have that mindset to be open to learning from all experiences. It's not just the experiences that you have, but others' experiences. And it allows us to really correct some of our actions, to be proactive. As we was talking about, with wisdom, it allows us to be proactive without actually having to experience it ourselves. And so our actions are really to reflect on the lessons from the past. We learned a lesson from the end. I'm still thinking about the lesson from the end. And so really just storing up the food and the provisions, storing up the word as we talk about hiding the commands in our hearts. And that's a lesson that we took from an end. So we were reflecting on the lessons that we can also get from others. So it's based off of their experiences. And really staying alert for new opportunities to grow. We want to continue to grow, especially when you accept wisdom, you are accepting long life, because you are accepting to hold to the teachings and to hold on to this, to keep the instructions and actually do that, which allow us to have long life and to grow. So we're continuing to grow. It's a lifelong journey. And when we do get to places where we need to, throw in an audible, in this playbook, we also have audibles. And those audibles, if opportunities seem scarce, so you may feel like, or you may be thinking, and that's why we want to think on whatever's true, whatever's lovely. Because even when opportunities are scarce, you can still, scan for unlikely places. Like, okay, it may be scarce, and I may think it's scarce, but this opportunity, this experience that somebody else maybe have went through, or this experience that I really don't think is an opportunity, it may be a lesson in it. And I literally got to see that really today, with, I like how it says that, like, life is lived forward, but it's understood backwards. And so that's really, I got to see the benefit even after these 7 days. But God is always working. He's always there. But it is wisdom there. And that's what we have to really remember. And so if we start to feel discouraged, you want to boost your morale by reviewing the past achievements. God, you got me this far. Thank you that you were with me even in the darkest days. And you are always there. And then you start to remember, God is always that he knows the plans that he has for me. He already said that we will have trouble, but take heart. He has overcame the world. Greater is he that is in me than he that is in the world. And you start to think on the words, and it brings you life. And that leads us into Proverbs 8. When I say Proverbs 8 was really a reflection, and I'm going to actually go through it. And this, I know we went and touched in as far as the past 7 days, we really was more of listening and taking away the teachings and the instructions, and being, actually being wise in really listening and hearing, but also not just hearing, but writing the words on the tablets of our, on our eyes. It was in our sight. It was our focus. And it was really how we approached the last 7 days. Today, I really want to make it more reflective I think probably for the next 7 days is going to be very reflective. Because we're building up the skill of listening and active listening. And so it really takes intentionality. So with Proverbs 8, it really, let's reflect on how intentional are we being when it comes to what we're reading. Are we listening? Are we seeing? Are we hiding it? Are we doing the commands? Are we perceiving? Are we getting to know? Are we receiving? Are we giving? Really start to reflect. And so after all the instructions and teachings, do you hear now? That's a reflection. I'm reflecting on that. Do I hear now? And I yes, because insight is calling. This is the calling to insight. Pick up and connect. We have to pick up and connect with wisdom. And this is basically like wisdom talking to you. And it's like wisdom is calling out to everyone who has the capability to hear. He who has an ear, let him hear. And this is literally what wisdom is calling out to everyone. So it's like, for me, it's like seeing, having the tree of life, and it's calling, and it's just the tree of life is just calling you to just stay focused on that. Is so much peace that are around it. First and main. So it's the first and it's the main thing. So you ask, what's the first and the main thing? It is wisdom is, and it's on the line. Are you on? Are you on first and main? Are you, on when the first thing that you do? Are you getting wisdom, seeking wisdom? Lord, I need your instructions. I need your wisdom. I need your teachings. I need your commands. You're more than enough. So I can get more and more of you every day. And so, but we have to really be reflective. Are you busy? Are you busy? This is where I call you at. So in our busiest times, it's like, okay, remember, I'm first and main. Get wisdom. Get wisdom. We don't want to be a barrier full of busyness, but we do want to be about our Father's business. And so when you start to feel like life is, you can't hear in thickness, but life getting thick, or start to move slow, feel like you're in traffic, you're not getting to where you're going. Are you listening? Are you getting wisdom? What's first? When you start your day, is with getting wisdom, gaining understanding first. And that's why I said this is very reflective. Everyone in the streets, even me, everyone, the streets are, where we get busy. And so we have to listen. Everyone who lacks instructions and understanding and living without knowledge. This is the call. Learn wisdom. Learn wisdom. This is the reflection. If you're feeling like you're lacking instructions, or life is getting thick or slow, learn wisdom. And it lets you to reflect on when you learn wisdom. Without it, you go from corner to corner and stay void in mental darkness, because we lack wisdom understanding, instructions. You are in a place, the earth was void and formless in the beginning. But you have to get wisdom. And it actually talks about how wisdom was there before, but I'm going a little bit ahead of myself. But without it, you go from corner to corner. So you don't want to miss a word. You don't want to miss a word of this, because now we're talking about, life thick. You have to hear through all of that. Really listen. And I'm, like I said, you guys, as I'm speaking, I am reflecting. I am thinking, on it. I'm talking to myself. And I encourage everyone to read, because I'm basically for Proverbs 8, chapter 8, I'm basically reading the word and reflecting as I'm reading. So this is how you live well. So if anybody asks you, how do you live well? I would say, get wisdom, learn wisdom, gain understanding. And that's how you live well. And this is what I'm saying. Wisdom is the best thing to get. Wisdom is the best thing to get. I'm going to say that again. Wisdom is the best thing to get. I'm going to say it again. Wisdom is the best thing to get. My food and taste is truth. So, yes. My food and taste is truth. And I can't stand a lie, which is pure evil. Yeah. So if it's either the truth or it's a lie. And the word is truth. And every scripture is truth. So for me, my mission is to take the lies out of the world, take that L out of the world, and come back with the word. So wisdom is the best thing to have. And because it's the truth. It's what I can stomach the truth. I can't stand a lie, which is pure evil. And trust, you'll hear truth come from wisdom. Only a sound of no ignorance. So when you're speaking the truth, when you're speaking wisdom, when you're speaking the word, there is no ignorance. There's no wicked instruction. So you love the truth. And that's why I love Jesus. He is the truth. He is the life. He is the way. And so when you love wisdom, you love the tree of life. He is the life. He is the tree of life. You come with an open mind, and you'll see for yourself truth. See, these are more instructions. Come with open mind. So how do you live well? You learn wisdom. But what does it require? You to come in with an open mind. And then you'll be able to see for yourselves. And not, you'll be able to see the truth for yourself. But without an open mind, you won't be able to see the truth. Because the truth is ready for minds that are, ready for it. So truth is ready minds. So when your mind is ready to accept the truth, it's open to the truth, which is open to instructions, it's open to teachings, it's open to commands. Then you'll see it. And you'll see it at once. It'll reveal, the truth will reveal itself to you. Wisdom will reveal itself to you. So here's the choice. Life discipline over chasing money. God knowledge over a lucrative career. Wisdom is better than the trapping of the undisciplined for wealth. Nothing can bring life to you as wisdom can. I mean nothing. Nothing. I mean nothing. When I'm repeating it because that's where my mind is. But I mean nothing. Nothing. Nothing can bring life to you as wisdom can. That's why it's like the beginning of wisdom is the fear of the Lord. When you start to hate evil, that's the heart of God. Like, that's how God see it. So it brings back the reflection from Genesis, when he said, do not eat from the tree of knowledge of good and evil. But the tree of life, you can eat all of that. You can eat all the wisdom, my instructions, my teachings. You can have all of that. But when it comes to the knowledge of good and evil, that's why I love how it says, like, wisdom is the apple of our eye. We make wisdom the apple of our eye and write it on the tablets of our heart. And you start to see it. Everything else means nothing, when it comes to wisdom. I'm going to get wisdom. I'm going to get knowledge. I'm going to get understanding because I know it comes from his mouth. And so, Lady Wisdom, the tree of life, is surrounded with sanity. You'll find yourself getting sanity, knowledge, and discretion. So the fear of the Lord is to hate evil. That's why we started off with the beginning with day 1 was the fear of the Lord. Hate evil. Hate evil with a passion. The ways of evil with a passion. And because you hate pride, you hate arrogance and corrupt talk. And when you gain understanding and you get wisdom, you see the truth, and you see that your stomach is your taste is for the truth. So you really can't stomach the lies or evil or corrupt talk or pride, no good sense or knowledge. That's why it's like the glorious crown that exalts you, which is the tree of life. It's the wisdom. Yeah. So you need wisdom to live out. And when you live that out, it brings insight. So you get, not only do you just get wisdom, not only do you get understanding and you're gaining understanding, but you also gain insight and virtue. I could just think about when the woman touched the hem of his garment and he said, I felt virtue go out of me. So like imagine how much insight she received. And so he said, I am the helper that makes lawmakers fair, leaders rule, govern, and legitimate authorities. So the truth, this is what makes us live in the truth. An honest, good life. I love those who love me, and whoever look for me, find me. You'll find my company is wealth and glory with a substantial amount of honor and a good name. That's what that stand on that path and, hiding the commands in your heart, knowing the instructions and holding to that, keeping your sight on the word and the teachings and the scriptures. Things start to get corrected. And so therefore, you start to receive honor and you start to receive a good name. And that becomes the company that you keep. So the benefits. Now let's talk about the benefits. The benefits they're worth more than a big salary. That's why we talked about the value of working higher. Even with the lesson from the end, storing up. I even think about the story of Joseph, how, they stored up for the famine and things in that sort. It's like taking a lesson from there. And so the benefits are worth more than a big salary, even the biggest. The bonuses exceed any imaginable bonus. So it's exceedingly abundantly more than we could ever ask or imagine, according to the power that is in work within us. So that power, that's why it's like wisdom it's that power that lives inside of you. So now when Christ, you start living the way, not of the way of ignorance or an undisciplined life, like we identified a disciplined life and an undisciplined life. You start living a disciplined life. You start to really abide in the shadow and truly abiding in the shadow of the Almighty, and not in the shadow of the wicked or the way of the wicked. Your ways change because you start to even hate the ways of evil. So this is, like I said, we were reflecting. Where can you find wisdom? Right on the righteous road. So if you're on the path of righteousness, and you're following Christ, and so He's going to lead. He is the way. So that way is the righteous road. That's where He walks and connects with justice. And so he's handing out life when he speaks. He's speaking, the words of the Father, the teachings, the doctrine of the Father, the commands, and holding to those teachings. And so when you hear it, it brings you life. And when you love wisdom and you love the Lord, then it also gives you loads of life. Because now your mind, like I said, sanity is right next to the tree of life. It's right next to wisdom. And so you start to receive a lot of that because he's sovereignly made by God. Think about the tree of life was sovereignly made by God. It was first and basic, the tree of life, before he did anything else. So before even the earth was laid or formed, wisdom was there. Before he even got his start, before it was even void and formless, before the oceans, the mountains were even sculpted or shaped, wisdom was there. That's why it's like first and main. It was first and it was the main thing. So God sovereignly made wisdom, the first, the basic, before he did anything else. He brought into existence wisdom a long time ago, well before the earth got its start. Wisdom arrived on the scene before the oceans, even before the springs and the rivers and the lakes, before the mountains were sculpted or the hills took its shape. Wisdom was there. Instructions and the teachings was already there. And before, when he drew, so you think about wisdom, I literally said today, wisdom is the boundary that was, so wisdom is the boundary. So when we talk about setting boundaries, when you get wisdom, it basically creates a boundary. And it says when he drew a boundary for sea, he posted a sign that said no trespassing. So just thinking about, it said you shall not eat from the tree of the knowledge of good and evil. There was no, before he already had said that. It was already there that we should not, trespass and eat thereof of anything other than the tree of life. We shouldn't eat of the knowledge of good and evil. And so that's why he hates evil. That's why we hate evil. And when you hate it with a passion, it's like basically there's like no trespassing. I like that. So, and then he staked out Earth's foundations. So then Earth was staked out, like it was created and sculpted. And what he's saying is wisdom was right there when the earth was when he said, in the beginning God created the heavens and the earth. Wisdom was there. And so that means the tree of life was there. And so was sanity, all the things that comes with it. All these things was laid before the foundations of the earth was. And day after day, even day after day, wisdom was there. Wisdom has always been there, with a joyful applause, always enjoying the company, delighted in the world of things and the creatures, happily celebrating the human family. So this is the reflection. My dear friends, listen carefully. Those who embrace my ways, are most blessed. Blessed be the man, blessed be the woman who listens to me. Awake and ready for me each morning. Alert and responsive as I start my day's work. When you find me, you find life, real life. To say nothing of God's good pleasure. But if you wrong me, you damage your very soul. When you reject me, you're flirting with death. And that's Proverbs 8. And that is the call of wisdom. So are you going to pick up the phone and listen and hear? So that was a great reflection. I'm going to reflect on Proverbs 8 a lot more. And to really, this is a real good practice with tuning your ears to wisdom, to instructions, and gaining an understanding. Is like I said, we're building up on the skill of active listening, and we're listening to wisdom. We're listening to the tree of life. We're keeping it as the apple of our eye. We're seeking, we're asking for wisdom, and we are operating in the fear of the Lord as we hate evil, and as we guard our hearts, we trusting in the Lord, and we understanding the value of working higher. So we're working higher and we're getting wisdom. So thank you guys for joining day 8 of the Wise Up Challenge, the Provisional Actions Challenge, and I look forward to continuing to wise up with you guys.